Hey, well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Illinois Freedom Caucus Roundtable. And hey, it's the Iron Man crew tonight. We
Yeah,
got some
not
schedule.
much of a round table tonight.
Well, hey, we just added a third member, so Chairman Miller is here now, so we're rescued here.
Hey, welcome to the show.
Yep. So, Leader Miller, how's it going this evening?
Well, we finally got a break from the heat a little bit today. It's stopped, but at least it's not humid today. So we're great here in East Central Illinois. Shenanigans and lies that are being told by our beloved governor.
That's right. Leader Freeze.
Oh, just enjoying this weather. It's parade season, as if anybody who's involved in politics knows and understands. When we're out of session, we start the parade season. Had one this weekend, got another one obviously on the 4th. Can't wait.
Yeah. Well, it's parade season, and then it's going to be petition season, and then it'll be the fall season and the Christmas season, and then it'll be primary season. So,
oh gosh,
the time just keeps on rolling.
Yeah.
But yeah, busy weekend this weekend with family, and so hey, we're going to dive right in. One thing. Leader Miller said it best in a Facebook post today. As sure as the sun rises in the east, the Democrats will raise your taxes, and that's true on July 1st, and that's true for Governor Pritzker. And so, many of you probably have heard that he announced his reelection bid last week, and we could make 10 or 11 or 12 slides just about this man's failure as governor. So condensing it down to one was a challenge, but the headline speaks for itself. The governor is good at one thing, and it's lying to taxpayers. And so I'll just open it up. A lot of content here on the slides, but David, if you want to kick us off, and then Chris, if you want to follow up, that'd be great.
Okay.
My biggest gripe is it continues raising taxes, new taxes. He says he's for Illinois, all of Illinoisans, but yet every working family out there is struggling to make ends meet. And what does he do? Obviously, July 1st, we get hit with the gas tax. That's going to go up. We've got some new taxes on nicotine products and gaming. It never, ever ends with this guy.
No, that's absolutely right, David. And one thing about JB Pritzker is that you have to watch what he does and not what he says, because he has the Springfield dictionary down, he has the Springfield math down, and so in all of it, all the things that he says and does sound so wonderful, but when it comes to applying the things that he does, he just doesn't do it. And he does what he's going to do, and he does what Democrats do best: is they do nothing, they spend more, and they pass the bill on to the taxpayers. And the load's getting pretty heavy. And I think probably the greatest threat to Illinois really isn't Iran or China, but it's JB Pritzker, our governor, and his bad policies that are totally bankrupting the state and destroying the middle class.
Yeah. No, Chris, that's a great point. Watch what he does, not what he says. I've seen interviews with him on more than one occasion where he says he wants illegal immigrants that are violent criminals that are in prison or in jail. He wants them removed from the state and from the country, but yet they're still prohibited from working with ICE, either the sheriffs or Department of Corrections. So those guys, when they're done serving their time, whatever it is, they get released right back into our communities.
Absolutely. I know that it was really interesting there a week or so ago. There was a few of us that had the opportunity to go watch JB Pritzker testify before Congress, and it was pretty interesting, the line of questioning and his ability to totally gaslight the people, or completely deny the reality of what happens. But I thought one of the most interesting things was facial response when Congresswoman Miller talked about how he raised taxes in order to fill the budget hole that he created. And she said that that really hit a nerve with him. But everybody in their dog knows that he raised taxes to fill the budget hole. That's not a big surprise. I'm not exactly sure why that was so shocking to him to have somebody verbalize that, because he's done that every year that I've been in office. Is every year they've spent more than they've taken in, and they had a budget hole. And so what they did was they passed on either fees or taxes or both to the hardworking middle class citizens here in our state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not taxes, revenue enhancements.
Right.
Get the phraseology correct.
The Springfield Dictionary.
Yeah.
Well, I was, Chris, you bring the hearing up, and it's interesting because, I think Will Howard said, Governor Pritzker is not ready for prime time, and yet here we are 2 weeks later. Well, he's wanting a third term. And to your point about his reactions, I think they had to give the governor a dose of epinephrine after that hearing because he's allergic to the truth, and there was sure a lot of it there. And I think that was an allergic reaction, his facial response to Mary Miller. And that's his biggest claim, right? He claims he's passed 7 balanced budgets. And as you'll see on your screen, our little fact checker here is the only way you balance a budget in JB Pritzker's world is whatever you're short by, you just raise taxes to cover it.
Right.
So it's balanced off of your backs. And you can still argue it's not balanced. And you wonder how somebody can possibly do these kinds of things. Well, he's a billionaire. He doesn't care. He doesn't pay a utility bill. Go ahead, Chris.
Well, I was going to say one of the biggest problems that we have here in Illinois is the legacy media that knows that JB Pritzker is going to funnel $250 to $300 million into their coffers. And so the last thing they want to do is call him out or report the truth, because they know it's going to affect how much money he spends with their media company. And so he gets away with everything that all the lies and all the deception, because as we have found out, the Achilles heel and many Illinoisans is cash, green cash. And so if they think that it's going to affect their ability to take in money, like we've seen with the green scam, with the legacy media and all these various things, they let Pritzker get away with all of this crap because they want to make sure at the end of the day he keeps writing them checks.
Yeah, that's right. Well, David, you see on the right-hand side of our screen here, I think a list of maybe the only people that should consider voting for JB Pritzker for a third term, right? Illegal immigrants, criminals, and Democrat lawmakers that are getting their paychecks raised every year. If you fall in those categories, maybe you can vote for JB Pritzker because he has made your life better. Everybody else, I'll be voting for the Republican.
Yeah, especially the illegal immigrants. We're a sanctuary state. As I referenced earlier, they refuse to cooperate with ICE. They roll out the red carpet for these individuals who have absolutely no right to be in our country or in our state. We feed them, we house them, everything, and it's on our dime. What's the latest number? $2 or $3 billion for these guys that are in our country illegally in our state. That's just our state. Again, I don't understand. I mentioned this last time we're on. I've been to several different countries thanks to Uncle Sam, and in no dime did I think that the laws of that country don't apply to me. So for some reason, Pritzker decided that our immigration laws don't apply to those that are sneaking in our country and want to come to the state of Illinois. Baffling.
Well, one thing that we discovered too in some of the latest polling data, he may have been able to buy the governorship here in Illinois, but he doesn't appear to be very popular. He doesn't on the short list of Democrat candidates for president. I think he was either last or tied for last in the group of potential candidates.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think it was at 2 or 3% or something like that. Hell,
Yeah,
Kamala Harris
yeah,
polled better than he did.
yeah.
You know,
Well, and
there's a
with the,
reason.
go
Yeah,
ahead.
there's a reason why he's going to all these different states to these Democrat
Mhm.
functions. He's trying to get his name ID out there, get more FaceTime, get some recognition. But the nationwide, I think his policies, what he has instituted here in the state of Illinois, are not popular. Not going to be popular nationwide.
Mhm. Well, I
Yep.
think that's one thing that is extremely important about the town halls that we do and the various things that information centers that we're doing around the state of Illinois, because we are the home of truth, logic, and common sense. And you're going to get the straight up, unvarnished truth when you tune into our town halls, and you're going to get a snapshot of what's really going on, because I guarantee you turn on any of the legacy media outlets, you listen to JB Pritzker, then these people will lie to you with impunity. They lie like a cur dog, knowing that nobody's going to hold their feet to the fire. But I'm just telling you, when JB's talking, he's lying to you. You can almost take it to the bank. And so it's important to tune in to the Illinois Freedom Caucus to get a fair analysis of what is actually going on in reality, because these people live in their own dream world and fantasy land.
Yep. 100%. Well, we could go on and on about Jimmy Pritzker's terrible record. I think we've set the foundation for our next slide real quick. Just as we discuss upcoming events, at the top of our mind right now is these ballot chase trainings, vote by mail trainings. If we want to beat JB Pritzker, we got to have good candidates. We got to be organized, X, Y, and Z. And we've got to chase ballots. We've got to capture the hundreds of thousands of people that think like you and I that just are not voting, especially in a midterm election where there will be, if we do nothing, there will be 500,000 people that voted for Donald Trump that won't even cast a ballot. And so we've got to get out and get these people's votes. The Freedom Caucus is engaged in this effort. And we got a training scheduled July 19th in Swansea in the Metro East. We have a training in September in the Tazewell Woodford area. More dates to come. And of course, a Freedom Caucus policy town hall coming in the Freeport area in Senator Chesney's district coming soon as well. So, gentlemen, if you have any comments on that before we move on?
Yeah, just real quick, I could not agree with you more. A lot of Republicans that I talk to feel defeated even before a candidate's been announced. We have got to get engaged. We got to stay engaged, and we got to get our neighbors engaged. We cannot afford a third term with this guy. It's going to kill our state. I mean, I had a conversation with some friends of mine. They've been supporters of mine. Actually, I knew them before I even ran for office, and they're retired, and they're seriously considering vacating this state. They want to go to what we would call a free state. They're tired of it. They've worn them out. Property taxes and everything else, they're done. We have too many people abandoning this state. We need to stay and fight.
That's absolutely right, David, and I couldn't agree more with what you just stated. And people are voting with their feet and they're leaving. But I don't know about you, but at least for right now, I'm staying to fight. We may feel like Jim Bowie at the Alamo, but that's all right. we're still taking the bullets and the cannon fire, and we're running towards the noise. And so, but it's important for us to understand that we do have hope, and there is a pathway to victory. But it's like Colin said, we have to. I mean, We had 1.75 million vote in the midterm for governor last time. We had about 2.5 million vote for Donald Trump. So there's about 750,000 ballots out there we need to chase down in the statewide elections. And I'm sure when you break it down district by district, there's plenty of ballots and plenty of voters out there that are fed up with the regime that we have currently, and they understand the reality that we can't handle another 4 years of this failed governor. And I know I was talking to somebody today, and for the policies he's implemented to our state and the things that he's done to our state, his IQ can't be much more than a third grader, because even a third grader isn't this stupid.
That's right, 100%. Well, and to your point, Chris, as we wrap up about this ballot harvesting stuff, people get stars in their eyes over the governor's office, but we have got to take back seats in the General Assembly, and this is going to help too. We want to win the governor's mansion. We want to send a Republican to the U.S. Senate, but we also need to fill more seats in the chamber and under the dome in Springfield. And so we're in the fight to do that. Here's our website, IllinoisFreedomCaucus.org. Follow our Substack there below it. And thank you all for tuning in. And hey, we may not feel very free in Illinois, but July 4th is Independence Day weekend. And so go celebrate your freedom with your families. And remember the sacrifices that have been made to keep our country free. And this is the Illinois Freedom Caucus. And so we will certainly do the same. So we're going to wrap up for the evening. Thank you all for tuning in. God bless you. Have a safe holiday weekend. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys.